So, welcome everyone to the annual meeting. And as you can see, we have our agenda. We'll have the state of Crashbase, the past year in review, membership report, financial report, election results, and any member business that anyone would like to bring up at this annual meeting. Starting then with the state of Crashbase. Would you like to take it away, Liz?
Yes. So the state of Crashbase is that we're awesome. Looking at the calendar right now, we have an event almost every day of the month. I feel like this past year we've gotten more events on the calendar, including coding socials and open hours. Thank you, Levi. And I think in general we're doing really great and getting a lot of people into space. Membership has grown. We've gotten a lot of visitors at the space over the past year. Doing stuff like maker fairs and having an open hours for Sigla Via has been really great at getting people into the space and getting people familiar with the idea of what Crashbase is. So yeah, I think in general we're doing really well. We're meeting the needs of our members. We are expanding our offerings and tools and hopefully future classes. Beautification is still an ongoing effort for sure, and just making the space more usable for all our members. But yeah, I think in general we're doing really well.
Excellent. Moving along, 2023 in review. Would you like to take it away, Theron?
Yes, please. If I may share my screen.
Sure thing.
Boop, boop. Slideshow. Crashbase year in review. So thank you for that sort of summary, Liz, because there's a lot of things that you just listed that are kind of in my little thing here. Crashbase is thriving. We've had more in-person events than ever. We continue to add to sort of the regular and routine things. We're still doing virtual and hybrid events, and they are great for people who can't make it into the space all the time. And the membership continues to expand, which we'll get to the membership report shortly. Space improvements. We've done a lot of things. We got that shipping container out there, and we got a big laser cutter. Plus, we got the risograph when it's not being in maintenance. Redesigned the front space, which you can see from Ron's screen right there. We sort of painted everything and gave everything wacky colors. We added a new meeting computer, and there's a stand for the speakerphone, which helps people not in the space hear things so much better than before. So those are all things that we did during 2023 to make the space better, plus the Crash Beautification events, which Liz mentioned. The sponsored membership program continues to do its thing, and that is a great way for people who we would like to be part of our community, be part of the community even if they can't necessarily afford it. We do need more people we're getting donations on a regular basis. We have kind of a surplus of money in that program. We need more nominations of people who would be good candidates for us to offer temporary memberships to be able to come in and do cool stuff in the space. So that's something we have the whole program there. It gets mentioned at every Tuesday meeting, and so if people have people to nominate, whether it's themselves or others, please do so. Membership report. Would you like to pop in here and then sort of do this at the moment?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if I can get this in here. And share screen. So I just want to share this real quick. In past years, I've done year-on comparisons. I think that it's probably useful to take a look at where we are here. Let me see, am I displaying the right thing? Is this the old one or the new one? There we go. Okay. Sorry, I was displaying. This just had the wrong date. Okay, there we go. I was a little confused. Okay, cool. Yeah, had all the right numbers. Okay, so real quick, the membership is in really good shape. I wanted to do a quick comparison. 86 members right now. And if you compare year on, 74 members. Now, the reason I don't have the fancy chart here is that it actually says 16 key members, 74 total, 58 regular at last April. But there was a problem with reporting on keyed members, so we actually had 28. And as you can see in this July report, which was after the fix was put in, it was 75 total active members, 47 regular, and 28 keyed. So if you look at the increase year to day, approximately from July last year to now, that's 12 more regular members, one fewer keyed member, which I think is very impressive. The numbers were not quite as impressive January to December last year, and I can include those in a final report for 2023. But I wanted to emphasize this right here on the clearer numbers, that Crashbase is in fact growing membership-wise. It's growing quite dramatically. And I wanted to show that in this presentation for today. I can get the January to December numbers for Theron for an official report, but I thought it was very important to emphasize our wins. And here, I think it is. Numbers have increased drastically year to date. And I think more key members are welcome, but we are keeping most of the members that we have right now. Very happy, I think. And there just has not been a lot of churn. We were strong during the pandemic, and we're strong now. And I'm really impressed by these numbers. So that's my report.
Excellent. Thank you so
Zach.
much. The next slide I had was for financial report. Would you like to do that now, Kurt?
Sure. Let me go ahead and take the wheel here. What am I? Yeah, let's see if I can grab a window. There we go. That should be showing up. Okay, so I'm going to actually start with the cash flow summary, and move over. Let me actually shrink this a little teeny bit and see if I can get a little bigger. And the steps are too discrete. There we go. So what I'm going to do is compare year 2023 to 2022. As you can see, we did lose a little bit in terms of memberships. And that's something Josh alluded to. 2023 was a low year for memberships. That seems to be when COVID actually hit us. And by low year, the difference here is like one keyed member. So losing one keyed member is a very big difference. With that, we still ended up a year in the black. Looking here, it's almost $895, almost $900 in the black. Even with a substantially less in income, predominantly because in 2022 we got a very sizable donation, and that was not matched in 2023. However, you can see one of the things is these two numbers here compare workshops. So we have a lot more income from workshops, and that represents more workshops. And that's a very good thing. Again, even with our reduced income, we had greater expenses, but these expenses, for the most part, had to do with buying equipment. So I'm going to shift on. What are our takeaways? The first is in 2023, the membership income was down and donations were down, but the workshops are slowly returning to pre-COVID levels. And the large increase in expenditures is actually not really an expenditure, but it has to do with the new equipment purchases from the Camcar equipment upgrade donation. And you can see in 2022, we only spent $1,100 of that upgrade, up that $34,000 upgrade donation. that upgrade donation, but we are now up to almost 35,500, and now we're over that with $34,000 additional equipment, and that's, as Theron said, our new large laser cutter, a welder, a risograph, upgraded safety equipment, and the new computer and webcams in the front rooms. So these are, again, internal transfers of assets as opposed to expenditures, and it doesn't really properly represent a change in wealth for Crash. Going on to the Camcar donation, at the end of 2023, we had remaining $14,000, just over $14,500, and we still have about $14,000 remaining. There have been some suggestions that were recently made, specifically purchasing an analog computer. I don't know anything about analog computers, but that was something going on. The Cal-eDNA project came to a conclusion in 2023, but all of the payments had not been made. There was a paperwork completed. However, I can tell you that as of this time, all of the Cal-eDNA project has been concluded. Thank you, Levi. And all of the payments have been made and cleared. So our share of $1,500 has been incorporated into our general account. Finally, as Theron mentioned, we do have the sponsorship fund. It continues to increase slowly, but we do have money that has been allocated into that fund. So that's what the state of our finances is, which is still strong and growing at a slight rate, which is exactly what we wanted to do.
Great, thank you. Let me get back to my presentation. Go. Okay, finance. So that was the financial report. Thank you, Kurt, for that, and thank you, Josh, for the member report. So events, this list has grown quite a bit. We sort of some of the stuff started in 2022, but some of the stuff is new. We restarted the patching circle. The coding social is kind of a regular thing now. The crash beautification stuff is happening. Lots of stuff going on regularly, which is really awesome. And then we had some nice talks during 2023. A lot of them thanks to Levi. So this ecological role of marine fungi and invertebrates, which I did not watch, but looks really cool. And then also this AI hive mind talk, and then Levi did a talk on his watershed DNA research project. So those are talks that we had that were very cool. These are great things, and it would be nice to get more of these on the books. Workshops, which Kurt mentioned. We did the Alex Lind cat hacking tool, which raised almost $500 in donations or ticket sales.
I want to correct the record here. No cats were hacked. It was cat shaped. So.
Okay. Well, and
unless your cat is Wi-Fi enabled, which would be like an IoT cat, in which case, yes, it would be hacked.
Yes, indeed. Point taken. Now, of course, not all that went to CrashSpace, but yeah, that was nice. We
They're
also
called
had
Dev Kitty now.
the PCB soldering workshop. Brought in quite a bit more in ticket sales, which is great. The RZA workshop, which was free to sort of get people up to speed on how to use it. So that was great. We need to have more of those. 3D Printing 101 raised $863 for the year, which was nice. So that is good. We need more of those, but that was definitely more than we had the previous year. We went to 2 maker fairs last year, which is awesome. So we did the LA Maker Faire and also OC Maker Faire. And we were a sponsor of the LA Maker Faire, even though we didn't end up on like the posters and stuff. But the OC Maker Faire was really cool. And then Levi did a whole series of his BioBlitz events, which was in support of the Cal eDNA grant. So that was, and these happened all over the place. There was at Pasadena, Long Beach, and there was one other location. Oh, the Sepulveda Dam area, right?
Oh, Sepulveda Dam, and also that area like Frogtown.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that was all really cool. And then some member project highlights. Liz made more great costumes. And Crash Space has contributed to raising almost $3,000 for my MS Walk fundraiser, which was awesome. Dimitri launched new flavors of his Besitos soft drinks, and they're available in more stores. Rachel did participate in the first ever AI Fashion Week, and her work was highlighted in Vogue, which is super cool. And then there's the Our Frasier remake thing, which if you didn't see, was they took an episode of Frasier and then split it up amongst a bunch of different artists and basically said, here, recreate these shots, and said in your own style. And then they stitched it all together and they placed it in sync with the original soundtrack. So it's a Frasier episode done in every single crazy artistic style you can imagine. And Rachel did a couple of the shots in it, I believe. And Levi says it's the only full episode of Frasier that he ever watched. And it is, in fact, an example where the remake is better than the original. Juan started doing some crazy stuff with his embroidery machine, including coming up with a way of doing 3D designed plushies, making them real on the embroidery machine, and doing puffy details and eyes. And then the deck of cards that Barb helped me bring into the world. We had an official launch event in 2023 at the Magic Apple, and the picture in the middle there, it was busier than that, but it was at the shop, and it was kind of piggybacked along with a book signing event, and that's the people you see at the table there. And then I started writing book reviews for an online magazine called Kipson's Conjuring Chronicles. And other things. All these I just scraped from the meeting notes and the email list and the calendar. If you do cool stuff, put it on the blog, because that's the easiest way to sort of go through it, or send it to me, or send it to the board, or send it to someone. Share it, document your stuff, please. It makes this a whole lot easier. So that is the 2023 year in a review.
Thank you very much, Theron. We're moving along then to the election results. Without further ado, our election results are as follows. Number one, most important, is we hit quorum, so yay to that. Our board members for the next term are returners Aquil Godot, Theron Trowbridge, and new to the board, Juan Gutierrez. Welcome, welcome. Our president will be Liz McFarland. Our vice president, Barb Norton. Membership chair, Joshua Truitt. Facilities chair, Michael Eisenberg. CFO was an extremely tight race, but our next CFO will be Levi Simmons. Treasurer, Ron Folkmar. Again, welcome, welcome. And secretary, me, Sean Shu. So thank you everyone for voting. Vote early, vote often.
Thanks, everyone.
Excellent. And welcome. Just want to welcome, Juan to the board, and Ron to officership, and thank Sam for his service on the board, and thank Kurt very much for his service as CFO, and Levi, welcome, and I hope it's okay.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm alright. I did it like a decade ago, so figure it out. It's,
Excellent.
I just because I'm also the CFO of my HOA right now.
Okay. Well, you've got all the support, right?
Yeah.
Kurt's not going anywhere.
No, it's
No. We'll work it out. We'll be in contact. I need to get you login information and such.
Yeah,
And
no worries. And then
cool.
also, Ron, report for much worse duty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take the brunt of it.
Do you know QuickBooks, Ron?
I mean, it's just a spreadsheet, isn't it?
No.
I guess I'm gonna learn it.
No. Spreadsheet wrong. Ooh.
No, we'll don't worry, Ron. We'll work on it. I'm at the space pretty often, so
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but don't follow what Levi tells you to do because he'll break it. We already talked. Remember what I said?
we
measures-
needed to set a meeting where we can all sit together. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You remember where I said measure twice, cut once? Well, in QuickBooks, go over it twice, send it to someone else to go over it twice, and then have their work checked again by someone else. Because when you mess up QuickBooks, it's messed up.
Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no pressure.
We'll make sure
No pressure.
everything is by the books, by the QuickBooks.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be more like slow books, just to be sure.
Yes.
Cool. But yeah, thank you so much for all the work you've done, Kurt, on this stuff. It's doing it for my HOA. I know how thankless it is.
Yeah. Well, I won't disappear. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We'll give you a slow takeoff. It'll.
Oh, don't worry. I know. At least you wrote something down on the people before me at my HOA.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And one person will be ecstatic. My wife. She's been like, "You're spending too much time working on craft stuff," and I agree because I've been doing too much CFO stuff and not enough, making.
yeah.
Nice.
So
You need to make a device that votes for Levi next time too.
that's it. That's it.
I'm at the space pretty often, so I deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up some tutorials right now.
I'll attach the Stone of Triumph.
There we go. That's it. Levi gets the Stone of Triumph. I'm not sure how sad I am about not having it. So
Okay, well, I think that concludes our business for the annual meeting. Unless there's any business anyone needs to bring up.
well, don't we have asking if there's any member things to?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is any if there's any new business to be brought by the members. But I'm not hearing anything, so I move that we adjourn the annual meeting.
Actually, could I add one thing, Theron?
Yeah, please.
As a reminder to all of the members, if you want to run an event, you can run an event. That could be a workshop, that could be open hours, that could be just getting together and having a meetup about something that you're interested in. That is how events happen at Crash Space.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, then, as we were, Theron, I believe you were moving to end the annual meeting and start the board.
Yes.
Let's do it.
And I would invite everyone to stay on for the board meeting because there's an item I'd like to discuss that potentially involves anybody who wants.
Very good. Okay, so here we have the minutes for our board meeting. And apologies to our new board member. Let's see.
I do not see him in attendance. Is he in Crash there?
No, he's out of town right now.
Okay, then.
Okay, well then, no matter. but I have not yet modified access to this for our new board member and our new officer. But here we have the minutes. If you all don't mind bearing with me a moment, I just want to take a screenshot for attendance so I don't have to pause right now. Okay. Yes, everybody looks very photogenic. Okay. That is done. I will get that. I'll get attendance later. We do have quorum. So this board meeting is called to order 4:31 p.m. Minutes from March will be tabled until our next board meeting, as well as the bulk of officer reports, unless anyone has any objections to that. Otherwise, we will move straight into the new business of accepting our election results.
Actually, can I go back? Let me go ahead and make my report now, so Levi
Sure.
isn't giving a report for a previous officer.
Sure.
So let me go ahead and share the screen. There we go. Window. There we go. Are we all right? So, oh no, hang on. Let me stop. I chose the wrong window. Now I feel stupid. It's that horrible recursion thing. There we go. That should actually be it. No, it did it again. What's going on? Huh. Weird. Here, let me. Can you see the report?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, so checking through here, we have our standard liquid assets. Important thing there. Oh, I'm gonna have to change that. These numbers are wrong. I didn't update them. I feel bad. I'll fix them and submit a supplemental report. Big thing you can see, we are down about $2,500. That just has to do with equipment purchases and how things work through in the months. Again, we have about $14,000 left from the Camcar donation and the sponsorship fund. It has just over $1,400 remaining. You'll see there's no Cal eDNA on because the project has been officially closed. Going through, you can see there we've got this big red year-to-date on there. And that's because that mostly is from the Cal eDNA, and if it weren't there, we'd be up probably $2,000 year to date right now, and that constitutes my report. If anybody has any questions, okay, there we go.
Okay, thank you very much.
I would like to move that we accept the results of the board of director and officer elections.
Second.
Okay. Thank you. I am just pulling this back together. Karen moves to accept. Josh seconds. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, passes unanimously. And then our next item of our new business is the future vision for Crash Space, our physical space, our community outreach and charity, this was an item that Theron wanted to speak to. Would you like to take it away, Theron?
Yes, thank you. So I thought this would be appropriate to bring this up here amongst the membership, because I think this is something that more than just is better to make visible to more than just the board. Because I think this is something that I'd like to propose that we establish, that the board establishes I'm thinking a committee, maybe we call it the Vision Committee. I don't know, it's a stupid name, but something along those lines, where we look at what should the future CrashSpace look like, both in terms of what our home is, whether we stay in our current place or we move to a new place. If the fire station doesn't happen, or maybe we do the fire station and something else, there's lots of variables there. And also the kinds of things that we should be doing to sort of give back to the community and sort of help other organizations, other charitable organizations in the community. And the reason this came to me and I was like, oh, we have to talk about this, is I was chatting with a friend who I didn't realize his day job was managing the charitable foundations for 2 large auto manufacturers. And he's managing about $30 million of donations a year. And one of them is very focused on STEAM and artistic and STEAM sort of charities. And I told him about CrashSpace, and he's like, oh, that's cool. I'd like to see it. We should get you some money. I'm like, oh, that's great. But then I realized if he said, hey, here's $100,000. If I gave you that, what would you do with it? We wouldn't know how to answer that question. And I think we should come up with some answers to that question. And my thought is, it would be nice to sit down and put together a group of people who are interested in that kind of thing, because a lot of Crash members are not. They just want to come in, work on their projects, and that's cool. That's why CrashSpace was founded in the first place, and that's totally awesome. But people who are interested in doing more than that, we've come up with lots of different ideas, but it would be nice to come up with a list of like, here are some things we can do, and here's what it would take to do them. And we talked about sort of, we've talked about some of this stuff and put some stuff down, but it'd be nice to come up with some concrete proposals so that we could say, look, if we only had $250,000, we could do this. If we had $50,000, we could do this, and then go after the money to do those things. I think we've been kind of approaching things a little backwards, thinking, oh, it'd be cool if we did this, if we came up with some money. But we've been pretty passive about fundraising, mostly waiting for people to come and give us some very generous donations. But if you look at it, we're still sitting on some of the Sammy Camp Card donation money, because we haven't, like, what do we do with this? So I'd like to come up with, sit down with a group of people, do some pie in the sky brainstorming of basically, if we were going to rebuild CrashSpace from the ground up, what would it look like? Not only physically where we are, if money were no object, what would we put into, how big of a space would we want? What would we put into it? And then what would we do to sort of go out into the community and help people in the way that is sort of on mission with what we're supposed to be doing? And that could be all kinds of things from, let's go give 3D printers to schools. Let's help schools set up maker labs and sort of help them run it. And let's give people who are unemployed, like give them lessons in how to write Python. And there's all kinds of things that we can do. And some of it's super easy and some of it's super, a little bit more involved. But I'd like to come up with a list of things like that so that we have it in one place, and then make suggestions to the board so that we can then go forward and say, okay, look, we're trying to raise X number of thousands of dollars this year, and let's go out and try and do that. So that's kind of my proposal.
Sounds good to me, Theron. I am blanking as far as creating a new committee. Is that something that requires a board motion, or is that something that we just do?
The board is empowered to do it. So yeah, we can. I'm basically with this. I'm moving that we set up the committee. My intention is, because it is kind of a big somebody should. I'm more than happy to sort of take the lead on it. And then my intention is that we would, as a group, whoever's interested in brainstorming on these things, would meet probably every once a month or every other week, and then just probably meet primarily virtually, and we would report into the board any progress that's made in those meetings, and then when we have a report of like some concrete proposals, then we would deliver that to the board as well. So yeah, I'm basically moving that we create the committee, and
Okay.
and
Very good then. May I get a second?
I second.
Excellent. Okay, and again, blanking. Vote necessary, or is
yeah, I mean, just certainly if anyone's got an objection, I'd like to hear about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, we should do a vote. I, of course, will abstain because I'm kind of the one proposing the motion, but
sure then? Yes, then may I get a vote? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And opposed?
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimously.
excellent. I saw your note about your being interested, Barb. I figured you would be. I will send out a note to the membership list to sort of get a list of anyone who's interested, and then we'll sort of schedule our first kickoff meeting, and hopefully we get plenty of people with plenty of ideas, because that's the idea. Is to I can sit down and come up with a list, but I mean, more minds the better.
Excellent. Okay then. Thank you, Theron. At this time, is there any other new business that anyone would like to bring up? If not, then our next meeting will be the 25th of May, 2024. We've been working at 4 o'clock. If that works for everyone, then we can continue on that 4 o'clock. If there are any concerns about that, then feel free to either reach out to myself or feel free to also raise a hand at this time. But with that, please, Rachel.
Yeah, hi. I just keep finding that this time for me is usually when I'm commuting somewhere, as you guys pleasantly got to experience before. So that's
Sure.
that's just for me, but but if this works for everyone else, I can continue, but I'll be taking calls in the car, and I feel bad doing that.
Okay, I will set up I'll set up an email to the board and officers, and essentially I'll set up a poll for new times or just times that work for people, and we can work from there. Does that sound good?
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do like a when to meet link or something?
Oh, sorry, is that to me or?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, to you, Sean. Yeah. Are you thinking of doing like a when to meet link?
I'm actually not sure what that is. When to meet?
Yeah.
Oh, when to meet. Gotcha. I was thinking of a Google poll, but I can certainly check out when
yeah.
to meet.
It's
Okay.
like when number 2 meet. It's just that's the URL. But yeah. Sorry. I don't know. It's just what I usually use.
Okay. Yeah, I will look into that.
Cool.
And I will get that out. And with that, may I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. And a
Nice.
second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Meeting will then be adjourned 4:44 p.m. Thank you all and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
thank you. Thanks,
Rachel.
everyone.
Rachel, have your memories.
Bye.
Okay.